Educational Institute. Please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. What a pleasure to be here with you today and to share a little bit about us and also how we could see this shaping the future of hospitality, education, leadership, and lifelong learning. And allow me to start with my dear colleague and my VP, Mr. Ed Castley, who's going to be actually taking over to the lead of this summit at the moment, speaking about global legacy of hospitality, education, leadership, and industry excellence. By the way, Rez is going to share with you in our chat the bios from our speakers today. So please don't hesitate to take a look at on the profiles, and that will be a wonderful start. Ed, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, my dear Mel. Good morning and afternoon, and actually good evening, everybody. I've seen now that people are connecting all the way from Australia as well, very late your time. Warm welcome to the many participants who are joining, 70 countries, Mr. Reza was saying. We're truly humbled by the turnout. Thank you so much. To start with, of course, on behalf of the American Hotel Lodging Educational Institute and the National Restaurant Association, I would like to sincerely thank our hosts, the Institute of Tourism, for bringing us all together today. We greatly appreciate it, Mr. Reza. This is a first collaboration with the Institute of Tourism, but I'm sure not the last one. To set the stage a little bit with today's topic at hand, as we all know, hospitality is a career of opportunity and growth and is a very people-centric industry. Our future depends on how effectively we educate, develop, and recognize our industry professionals. So it'll be my great honor, myself and my colleague, to provide you with a brief introduction to the mission of the organizations behind our professional development programs. And then my esteemed colleagues will present to you the certifications that we offer and the many opportunities we try to create. For those I have not met yet, previous slide, my name is Ed Castley, and I'm the VP of International with HLEI and the NRA for the past 17 years. Time flies. I have the absolute pleasure to collaborate with educators, institutions, recognizing so many names and so many faces in the chat, employers, funding organizations, sister trade associations from all around the world. And today we're honored to present how our programs will help bridge the gap between classroom learning education to meet that never-ending change in industry expectations in order to create meaningful pathways for career advancement. Next slide. As you see, our programs are supported by two major trade associations that share a strong commitment to professional development and career success. On the left hand, you have the NRA, who represents the restaurant and food service industry, while the American Hotel Lodging Association represents the hotel sector. I'll tell you a little bit more about each in the next following slide. Previous slide. HLEI takes all that industry expertise one step further and translates them into education, training, and globally recognized professional certifications. And in this slide, to tell you a little bit about the NRA, it is today the largest and oldest restaurant association in the world, and it serves, represents, lobbies, advocates for the interest of the restaurant industry in the United States. And our educational programs combine more than a century of industry experience with a broad international reach. For example, our flagship food safety certification program, ServSafe, that I'm sure many of you are familiar with, is available in more than 30 different languages and used in 90 different countries because it was developed to meet and follow local food safety frameworks, including EU standards and the famous Codex Alimentarius, to ensure it is practical and relevant to real restaurant operations. Next slide. Next slide. Yep. And on the other hand, the American Hotel Lodging Association, the sister association to the NRA, also served the hospitality industry for more than a century. It is the leading voice for advocating for the hotel sector in the United States, with over 34,000 hotel members across every segment, as you see, from small and independent properties all the way to the major global hotel chains. And this very broad representation provides us at HLEI with direct industry inputs by industry, for industry, as we like to say it, into the forever changing workforce needs and helps us ensure that our programs remain connected to current today hotel operations. Next slide. And that has been, as I was saying, at the very heart and the very mission of the Educational Institute for the past 70 years as a nonprofit educational arm of the AHLA since 1953. And since 2017, our mandate also expanded to serve under the National Restaurant Association. We do specialize, this is all we do, in hospitality and tourism professional certifications, workforce development, and academic publishing. And today, as we'll see it with my colleagues, George and Rochelle, we're proud to offer over 20 different professional certification and over 100 different courses available both in print and digital to support you, academia, industry, and government agencies globally. Next slide, and this is my last slide. It basically illustrates the real breadth of the global opportunity and community that we serve, so many different verticals that we are very proud to serve. I'm sure you'll recognize many logos. And in the end, what connects us all is what we're truly passionate about. It is our commitment to building a skilled, confident, capable, resilient workforce. We've seen it with COVID, and creating opportunities for career growth to help elevate our beautiful industry as a whole. And that's the very heart of our mission to gather all three organizations, the NRA, HLA, and HLEI, connect industry expertise with education standards and recognize credentials to support all the hardworking people who bring hospitality to life every single day. And with that introduction, I'm very pleased to hand it over to my colleagues. Thank you very much for the opportunity again. And over to my good friend and colleague, Mr. George Ubelot.
Thank you, Ed. Nice to see you all. Welcome, everybody from around the world. Greetings from Dubai. And thank you, Mr. Reza from Institute of Tourism for organizing this event. I'm so actually proud and surprised to see there are so many participants here on Zoom and also on the website. So thank you very much again for joining. So my name is George. As Ed mentioned, I'm an collaborator with HLEI in different areas, fields since 1997. So it's almost over 30 years now, almost 30 years that collaborating with the HLEI. And I'm one of the main master instructor delivering several programs. And we believe that AHLEI sets a gold standard, sets a standard in every stage of growth, leadership, and overall an excellence in the hospitality field. Next slide, please, Yamel. Thank you so much. And at every stage of our career, the hotel professional reaches a defining moment where actually the day-to-day work, the execution somehow needs to connect to a strategic vision. So that's the fine moment where we need to develop. That's the fine moment where we need to find new programs. These are also moments that we need to take initiatives beyond what a corporation or a company is offering us to develop. So we're shifting from day-to-day business towards more strategic areas, including human capital, developing finance, developing management, managing the teams. So AHLEI provides all this platform for us. So Yamel, please, the next slide here. So, and throughout this development, credentials definitely matter, not just for the individual through the ranks, but also for the ecosystem of performance, culture, and the organization value. And the next slide, I'd like to show you how HLEI actually brings everything together. As you can see on this chart, and you can also find that very easily on the website ahlei.org, there is a certification and recognition program provided per discipline and per position in the hotel. So the ecosystem of a company here, of a hotel company, includes certification starting from the line level, and up to the executive level and according to the disciplines. And it gives the opportunity for somebody in his whole career development and personal development to grow easily and have a smooth transition between line level, supervisor, manager, department, and executive. We also have some specialty certificates that later my colleague Rachel is going to talk about it, the one involving the academia. So coming back to the two important certificates is the CHA, known as Certified Hotel Administrator, the program that addresses general managers and beyond, corporate managers, operations managers, even lodging owners that are benefiting from that program. Now, the program itself, Yamel, in next slide, has itself includes several aspects that a manager has to deal today about the global industry, the leadership, about investor and ownership relations, and also, as like any other certificate of AHLEI, is also a proof of a continuous learning and industry relevance to the professionals. There are 7 topics that are covered within the program. Beside the operational topics, which are risk management and food and beverage, the remaining topics, financial management, leadership, human resources, marketing, sales, and revenue management are more the conceptual phase. And actually, these 7 modules within the program are the full responsibility of a general manager in a hotel today. A second program that goes to the level just under a general manager is a manager, not a department head, but a manager moving from supervisor to the next level, becoming a manager or a junior manager. The program here is called Certified Hospitality Manager, CHM. And this program includes as well 5 modules. I think is the next slide, Yamel, please. Includes 5 modules that bridge together from supervisor to manager. Now, these 5 components here is about hotel operations, leadership, recruiting and hiring, financial management, and revenue management. So actually, this is the first introduction towards the conceptual work that a manager is going to have. Both programs, I think next slide, please, Yamel. Both programs are running on partially on a digital format and partially with a workshop. So there is a asynchronous learning, which is a self-study component in both programs, and there are scheduled workshop sessions conducted all around the world in Asia, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and US as well, that takes on a workshop that actually brings most of the value in being part of these programs. Next slide, please. Each program, no matter which certificate you get from AHLEI, is subject to a certification exam. And you see here on your left a sample of a certificate. So each, depending to the level of the program, you have multiple choice questions, an exam of multiple choice question, and the minimum passing score required is 70%. Next slide, please, Yamel. The value of this certificate is definitely besides a recognition besides the current operation that a professional is engaged, but it's a validation. It's a proof of accelerating in career mobility, shifts from operational execution to strategic vision, has a deep understanding of data-driven and financial acumen approaches, and enhanced view on human capital, leadership development, and also ultimately the organizational resilience and quality governance. We are organizing most of these programs. Next slide, please, Yamel, regularly. And one of the important ones that relates to academia and as well as partially in the hotel was run regularly by my colleague Rachel in South Africa. So Rachel, good morning, and the floor is yours.
Good morning, George. And yes, good morning. As Ed has also said, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody joining us out there. And yes, the Institute of Tourism, thank you so much for the invitation, and Jamel as well. It's really a privilege for me to be part of the summit today as the international partner as well for AHLEI in Zambia and South Africa. I have a very big passion for our industry, and as George has mentioned as well, specifically the education part. Now, I'm sorry, Yamal, back to the first slide. Yes. So for me, something that I believe is fundamental to the future of our industry is how do we shape tomorrow's leaders? It's not just about leaders, but how do we actually shape them? So who is going to deliver that future? A lot of times we talk about the artificial intelligence, sustainability, changing guest expectations, maybe looking at a different business model. But ultimately, we need to ask the question, who's going to deliver that future of hospitality? Behind every hotel, restaurant, resort, or tourism, there's a person. We've got our waiters, we've got our front desk representatives, a manager, a supervisor. And my experience working in the hospitality education in training across Africa has reinforced something for me. Our industry does not have a shortage of talent, but we have a responsibility to develop the talent that we already have. We have young people entering the industry with enormous potential, and it's our responsibility to identify that potential in our young employees, in the women that are ready to lead. And that potential is not just enough. As Ed has mentioned in the beginning as well, we need to create pathways for these people. And that's why I believe the future of hospitality leadership rests on three important pillars. For me, that's education, certification, and inclusive excellence. And when we bring those three pillars together, we don't simply create better employees, we create future leaders. Next slide, please, Yamel. So let's start with education. When we look at our entry-level employees, George has shown that on the AHLEI grid as well. You know, we don't just prepare simply somebody for their first job. We should prepare them for a career, because there's a significant difference. If somebody joins a hotel as a waiter, we can teach them to carry the plate, take an order, or operate the point of sale system. But what about everything beyond that task? Can they communicate confidently? Can they solve a guest problem? And can they recover from a service failure? Most importantly, can they see where this first job can ultimately take them? And for me, the programs such as the AHLEI START programs, the skills, task, and results training, these programs can give somebody that is entering the hospitality industry a foundation in the knowledge and the skills that they need to succeed. And then to top up the START programs, we've got the Guest Service Gold. And these programs can take that development further and focus on the behaviors and the interpersonal skills required to deliver exceptional guest service. I see these programs personally as building blocks in a whole career pathway from all the AHLEI programs. Imagine you've got a young person entering hospitality today. They start with their foundational training with the START programs. They move on to the guest service gold. They become a supervisor, maybe later on a manager, and ultimately a leader. And what if that leader can become a certified hospitality educator? Because when a person can see a future beyond their first position, their perception changes from this is just a job, ultimately to this is my profession. And once that becomes their mindset that this is a profession, the next question is going to pop up to say, but what can I do next? And that question is where leadership development begins. Next slide, please, Jamel. The second pillar, what I've mentioned, is education, which is very close to my heart. And I believe certification has a very important role in developing the next generation of leaders. Education gives us knowledge, but certification gives us recognition. It says you have achieved something. And for many people entering the hospitality industry, particularly our young people, that recognition from certification is incredibly powerful. I've seen that across various areas in Africa where I have trained. When we identify the potential in our young employees, it gives that recognition is bringing out something in them. And it says you've achieved something. But there's another part of this that I cannot leave out, and that is inclusive excellence. When we talk about our future leaders, we need to ask ourselves, who gets the opportunity to become a leader? Is it only the people that had access to traditional academic qualifications? Or is it also the people that's maybe showing extraordinary hospitality potential? Excellence should not be limited to those who already have access to opportunity. Our job is to create access to excellence. And I believe this is particularly also important for women. Women make an enormous contribution to hospitality, yet we need to continue creating pathways that enable more women to move forward from operational positions into leadership, management, and education. It's so important that leadership development needs to start before the title. And this is where I believe the AHLEI programs plays an important role. George has specifically mentioned our CHM program, the Certified Hospitality Manager, and we also have the Certified Hospitality Supervisory course, which is amazing in preparing these people to move up the pathway, to climb the career ladder, if I can put it in that way. The AHLEI programs really creates a structured, internationally recognized pathway that helps people progress through the hospitality profession. And the qualification and the certification, that's only part of the story. What do we do with these people? Ultimately, we want to create or develop the new leaders. But what do we do with them after they've received the certificate? Do we give them responsibility? Do we mentor them? Do we encourage them to become educators themselves? Because certification should not be the end of their development. It should be the beginning of the next opportunity. It should lead through the pathway. Next slide, Jamel. This brings me to the third part of my message, and perhaps the closest part to my heart is the educators. And I've had the privilege of being educated by Mr. George Uberload as well. I think George, was it from 2022, that he has mentored me through Yamal and George and Ed. They've all played a major role in my development, my career path, my pathway, where they saw something in me that I did not see in the beginning. And this is why I can speak with passion about it, because I've experienced the Ashley pathway myself. And if we want to shape tomorrow's leaders, we need to invest in the people who develop people. And one of the lessons that I have learned as my work as a hospitality educator is knowing hospitality and knowing how to teach hospitality. It's not the same thing. A brilliant chef isn't automatically a brilliant educator, or a successful hotel manager isn't automatically a great trainer. An experienced hospitality professional doesn't automatically understand how adults learn. Now, I'll take you later on to a later slide that will show you the content of CHE. Before I did my CHE, I was a trainer and I delivered training. And my whole perspective of how to deliver training after I've done my CHE, I thought, wow, I should really re-look at everything I've ever taught. Because the way we deliver and the way that adults learn is really playing a major role, and it makes a big impact on how we deliver that training. So as a CHE master trainer now for the African continent, I don't see my role simply as delivering a program. I see it as having a responsibility to develop people who can develop other people. Imagine I'm training 10 other educators. Those educators will train other trainers and supervisors. Those trainers develop hundreds of hospitality professionals. And suddenly, those professionals create thousands of guest experiences. Suddenly, the impact is no longer just in one classroom. It becomes an industry. And this is what I believe becomes the multiplier impact that we have. I believe our responsibility goes beyond training people to perform a task. We need educators who can inspire, that can connect theory with real hospitality, who can identify potential and who can build confidence. We need educators like Yamal, George, everybody who said, I see something in you, let's develop it before you maybe even see it yourself. Yamal, sorry, the next slide. This brings me to our CHE, the content of our certified hospitality educator. It's discussing student, teacher, and course evaluations, designing a course syllabus, writing complete instructional objectives. George, I think you'll remember, for me, that was really a part that stood out, because you know, you always think you need to develop the course and then you develop the assessment, where it's almost the other way around. And for me, that made such an impact of the way that I look at my planning for the training. So yes, of course, appropriate methods for ending a class. I'm not going to go through all of that, but there's a lot that you think you know everything when you're a trainer, but I promise you, CHE makes such a difference. It was mind-blowing, to put it in plain, simple English, to be honest. It's a course that will open your world of teaching and training, absolutely. And so yes, I think, Yamal, you can move on to the next slide, where this is just a few pictures of the impact that we've made across Africa, and also up in Azerbaijan, where I've trained as well, but Uganda, Zambia, South Africa. And I believe shaping tomorrow's leaders, it's a simple but powerful cycle. We need to educate them, certify them, and empower them, and then develop them into educators who can do the same for the next generation. It's our responsibility to develop our next generation of leaders and ultimately educators as well. Thank you very much. Yamal, I'm handing back over to you.
So speaking of what Rochelle was saying about these next workshops, we would love you to say the dates, these virtual workshops, and they are going to be upcoming. And on September 17 to the 28th, we will host the Certified Hostel Administrator. The certification, as George shared with you, he's going to be the master trainer for both programs. And we would really, really, really like you to be able to join this virtual workshop. The same as the Certified Hospitality Educator. For most of you that I have seen that you are in the Asia Pacific area, this is going to be in the Indian Standard Time. So we will be able to join with this program that it will be run by our office in India. And the Certified Hospitality Manager also will have a virtual workshop that you will be able, and of course, all my information will be there available for you to be able to reach out to get more information about that. And the last part of this wonderful summit, it was just to share a little bit about the transforming hospitality talent. So what is the future? How do they look, the micro credentials, AI? What is this lifelong learning? And just a few months ago, after a really long international journey, you can actually, what happens to me was I was checking in a hotel and everybody worked perfectly, mobile check-in, digital room key, smart room, you can manage the curtains, the blinds, everything digital, have a tablet in the room to order, even room service. But what I really remember, it's how the receptionist who smiled and simply say, "Welcome, Ms. Henriksen. And we have been expecting you." Just 5 seconds. That 5 seconds, that was the only thing it really kept my, my attention. Because hospitality has never been about technology. It's always been about people. And the challenge is not the technology itself. The challenge is to prepare the people to use correctly this technology. Today, hospitality is changing faster than any other point of our industry history. Artificial intelligence is transforming the way that we can serve the guests, we can manage the operations, we can make business even decisions. But automatization is nowadays something that is helping the hotels, improving the efficiency, but also labor shortage as increasing because operational is consistent and we have that need. Robots is no longer a science fiction. Around the world, the robots nowadays are supporting housekeeping, group delivers, concert services, digital check-ins. I can't even name a whole list of the new technology that is using in the face now to the client, because it's been used for so many years ago. Everybody thinks AI just came, and actually, basically, what I have been researching and studying on my PhD, this is the third wave of AI. So it's been there. It's just behind the scenes. Now, as a consumers, we can use it. But revenue management has been also evolving, and it's been AI, and now we can analyze thousands of variables at once. So the challenge is not the technology. The challenge is to prepare you. It's advancing rapidly, but organizations need professionals with the skills, the confidence, and the adaptability for use this technology efficiently. So technology creates efficiently, and the hospitality has always been and always remained a people-centered industry. Guests rarely will remember technology using during the stay, but they will talk about and remember the warm welcome. The concierge who solved the difficult problem, the server who celebrated a special occasion for maybe one of our kids, or the employee who turned around an ordinary stay into a forgettable experience. And yes, technology will efficient, but people, we are the ones who are creating the emotional connections. So through HLEI, we are able to support that part of you. We are able to actually to help you to have the base of not only the education path, we also can help you to develop these people, your team, yourself. So hospitality is changing very fast. We have these skill revolutions, and for many years, education will follow a very predictable moment. The model that we're used is to earn the degree, to follow with experience, and create a career. But now we are relying also in knowledge for many years. So today's world is completely different. As Rochelle mentioned it, guest expectations are increasing every year. And nowadays, we have actually updated one of our main wonderful programs that's a guest service goal related specifically for tourism areas, but also for the hospitality and academic. So that means that professional education can no longer be only a one-time event. It must be a learning that become a continuous journey. That's how also George also show you what is our path grid, how we can actually support you from young generations, from students, for entry-level person that is working in the hospitality, all the way to support you to be even part of our association, as Ed mentioned at the beginning. Be part and be a member of our association, even holding your own company to be part of it. So success in hospitality is just no longer determined by what they learned of yesterday. It depends on how we are preparing and we are learning tomorrow. So AI is going to be transforming the operations. The automatization will be improving efficiently, but personalization is refining the guest expectations. So the challenge is not the technology. The challenge, as I say, is going to prepare the people. And micro-credentials. It's nowadays, this is a boom, even in Europe. You know, now we have fundings from the EU specifically to target this area. In HLEI, we have more than 73 years working with certifications that nowadays they just use the name of micro-credential. So these numbers is just telling us something very important. Continuous learning is an advantage. It's becoming a business necessity. So credentials, micro-credentials, certifications, industry certifications are transforming the professional education around what unlikely traditional academic programs. That's why also we are able to work also in more than 70 countries worldwide with more than 2,000 academic programs worldwide, because we are not an academic institute. We are a professional institute that we top up with their academic basis of our successful partners. We top it up with our academic training, developing certification programs, focusing on the practical, on the job-ready skills that it can be used immediately. So they are short, they are flexible, they are designed around a specific competence, and that will also employ and will also allow professionals to learn while continue working. Because nowadays we cannot just, some of us, dedicate ourselves just to do one activity. Some of us have to work and study at the same time. Some of those have to work and then prepare themselves to continue growing, as some of my colleagues already say it. So the industry needs education that is agile, relevant, that is industry-driven, that is immediately applicable, and these certifications, micro-credentials, meet exactly those needs. And this is a boom. 59% of the global workforce will require reskilling and upskilling by the 2030. I'm not the one to say that. This is the World Economic Forum. And this is why 39% of the world are expected to change by 2030. There's even whole countries that are preparing themselves with this vision in the Middle East. So making continuous learning is essential. That it will report that there's 59% of the global workforce will require certain training or reskilling. So this is not an educational challenge. This is a leadership challenge. So the future belongs to those who are never stop learning. And at the American Hotel Lodging Educational Institute, with our partners, our professors, our trainers worldwide. We are here to support you, to team up with you to develop the hospitality talented. So as a conclude of today's session, really, we as a team, we would like to leave you with one final thought. Future of hospitality will not be defined by technology alone. Artificial intelligence has been here before, still now, it will continue to evolve. Automatization will be more sophisticated. Digital transformation will be continue and reshape our industry, but none of these innovations will replace what it truly makes hospitality exceptional: people. People who are curious, people who embrace change, people who are committed to continuous learning. The organizations that will lead the future worldwide, not even only hospitality, they are not necessarily will be the newest technology. It will be those organizations that they want to invest the most in developing their people. That the lifelong learning is not going to be optional anymore. That will be the strategic advantage. And at HLEI, we are proud to support this transformation by working with governments, with associations, with universities, with vocational schools, with employers, with professors, and with the tourism organizations around the world as the Tourism Institute, that we're very, very, very happy to be here together with you to help to develop these hospitality professionals in every single state. So through global recognized certification and professional development programs, we want to invite you to be just more than only qualified. We really want to invite you to become certified. And we want to thank you for your time that is valuable, that we cannot get back. And thank you so much for dedicating us this time and to listen and hear us today. We are here to serve you, and thank you so much for this lovely time. Back to you, Direza.
Thank you so much, Yamal, for a wonderful presentation and all our amazing speakers. So if there are any questions, I saw some questions in the chat, but I think it's better we let the people ask. So anybody here would like to have any question, just unmute yourself and please ask. And if possible, please turn on your video as well. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and thank you so much, Institute of Tourism, for putting this together. My name is Emmanuel Frimpong. I am based in Ghana. My question goes to Yamel or any of their presenters, and I got struck by almost the last point you made about 59% of global workforce will require reskilling and upskilling. And I guess this data probably doesn't even take recognition of Africa, because our percentage probably will be 85% of our workforce needing reskilling and upskilling by 2030. So my question is, how do you plan to, your organization plan to, or do you have any plans of partnering, collaborating with Africa associations, institutions to make sure that we also get where we need to get to? Because now a lot more people are coming to Africa because there is over tourism in Europe, and people are looking for other places to visit. And we are seeing increase in investment in hospitality, hotels, and other restaurants and things like that in Africa. Therefore, we will obviously need the human face. And we have the human resource. We have the people, youngest in the world. Yet, when it comes to training, delivery, customer care, we don't have it. How do you plan to work with institutions in Africa to upskill and reskill? Thank you.
Thank you, dear Emmanuel. And let me pass this. I don't have nobody better than to answer this question than my vice president. Please, Mr. Ed Castley, if you want to share then, and then we pass this to Rochelle.
I'd be happy to because, as I was saying, Rochelle would be the ideal person since she's our partner for Africa.
Thank you, Yamal and Ed. Mr. Emmanuel, nice meeting you. As I've mentioned before, I've been operating in Zambia and South Africa for quite some time. And one thing that I've personally experienced is when we are working, we've implemented the AHLEI START programs and specifically also the Guest Service Gold programs across a very big part of Zambia and also in Uganda. And one thing that I've seen is to deliver these programs, yes, it can be done online, but specifically for our Africa market, there's a much bigger and a more efficient impact when we do deliver these trainings in person. I think you will agree with me. Our Africa
Absolutely.
market is not necessarily the online training market. We need to deliver in-person trainings. And that's where I've always told Jamal and Ed and everybody, no, I cannot be everywhere at the same time. And that's why I believe if we educate the educators in the certified hospitality educator programs, and then they can then multiply the impact by then implementing the START or Guest Service Gold programs. Specifically, you start at your entry level staff where it gets, where it hits the ground. So I think importantly, start with your trainers, get them certified in CHE, and then assist them then to implement START and Guest Service Gold to start off in the African regions. For me, that I really saw a very big impact where we did train that in Zambia as well.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I totally agree with you that Africans training will not be effective online. Because just yesterday, I was talking to a lecturer who teaches hospitality, and I was asking her if she's ever slept in a five-star hotel, which countries has she traveled to? And she hasn't had that experience. And how do you teach something that you haven't experienced before? So ours has been just theory. And I agree with Yamel that we cannot teach what we it has to be hands-on. It has to be hands-on and it has to be about people.
Absolutely.
So I totally agree with you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a good friend and our good friend
Yes.
of our institute, and president of the Africa Tourism Networking, if I'm not wrong. I think you didn't mention that. So
Thank you.
we look forward to work with you. Thank you for your questions. Any other questions?
Hello
Yes.
from me.
Yes, hello.
I'm Sibyl Hoffman. Greetings from Swiss Alpine Center in Greece. I'm here today because I wanted to see Yamel and my friend, my very good friend Ed Kesley. We've been partners with AHLE, as we call it, for over 35 years. And I cannot tell you how much it has given our students. We offer online courses in 70 different countries using the AHLE courses. And I cannot say enough about how much we admire what AHLE has been doing to the industry through its courses, through its certification and programs. And I enjoyed very much listening to Rochelle because she's so passionate about developing talent and leaders. And I like what you said, Rochelle, is that there is no shortage of people in the industry. It's how, to get them and really develop them. And I think you said something like, or Yamel mentioned something about, I see you have something in you, let's develop it, and so on. So it's all about really identifying potential and. Now, sorry, one question about the Generation Z. I mean, we are all facing this in our colleges, Generation Z, how they learn, their expectations. And so we know that they tend to favor micro-learning, fast feedback, and digital-first experiences. How is AHLE adapting traditional hospitality training and certification so they resonate with the learning styles of this Generation Z? entry-level staff and emerging leaders.
Thank you, dear Seville. It's a pleasure always seeing you.
Mhm.
And just last week, let me pass this voice to my dear colleague George. Just because last week we just have a wonderful CHE, Certified Hospitality Educator workshop with exactly this was a main topic. And I'm
Oh,
so happy to see actually that just Professor Peter from Austria, he just joined right now. He was one of our participants last week. So he's a brand new attached to our certification as a hi Peter, I saw you joining in. He's one of our new family members as a certified hospitality educator in the family. So dear George, please take the floor because this was a topic that we talk about it. So it's lovely to share more with your expertise about this topic.
Yes, thank you, Yamel. So we, within the workshop, of course, we're talking about AI and digitalization as well as Generation Z. And one of the part of the module is structured in a way to help the instructors to eventually be able to adjust their delivery methods so that students who need, as you mentioned, Sibyl, like a quick feedback and also using digital technologies, that they can feel included into the learning process rather than being disconnected. Like they get the answer on AI and then they're not disconnected. They think they have the answer, but actually they don't have the right answer. And so there is a specific session within this module that we do in this program. And yes, Peter was one of the participants last week, and many others shared their respective experiences on how they do that in the school, in their learning environments. Now, regarding if I can give the two programs that I presented earlier, the CHM and the CHA program. So both these programs recently has been transformed to be asynchronous learning. So what we do in these programs, and we assume that there are young managers, especially in the CHM program, Certified Hospitality Manager, moving from supervisor. So this program is an asynchronous program. So partially they will study themselves, and then we set sessions to support them. And then we conclude with a workshop that is more on a discussion and collaboration area. So there is not just the content, but it's more like the learning that happens in these sessions. And we're moving towards this system with all basically workshop. Even a digital tool is not provided, but the structure of the workshops have totally changed now. So I hope it answers your questions here, and definitely is a topic that Yamel mentioned, discussed largely in the workshops.
Yeah, definitely. And like you mentioned it, dear Seville, we're focusing right now Generation Z, that is going to be cut on those that are born in 1997 to 2012. That is important right now, entry level for what we are working on emerging leaders workforce now. But it's nowadays, as you know, teaching also younger generations, Generation Alpha from 12 to 13, that is going to reach now until 2024. Those are the next generation that is entering education. And eventually, they will be the workforce. So if we have to make them part of the system, that make them to believe that this new Generation Alpha, and it's coming the beta after them, that they are part of the development, giving them the critical thinking to be part of the way of we are developing them, then they get more attached in what we're doing. And HLEI, we are really focusing to developing not only the fundamental programs that it can be tailor-made by the institutions or to develop the workforce, we are also supporting them to train and develop the professors and the trainers themselves in order for them to have all the tools to be able to conduct directly training or a class with the best tools that we can be able to support them through our certifications.
thank you, George, and thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
welcome, welcome.
Okay, I see Mr. Opina raising hand, please.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, my name is Dr. Obina, and I'm from Nigeria. I'm happy to be here today. This is my first time. Okay, my question is simple. If anyone is certified with AHLE, will he be able to be an instructor? And what relevant will the certificate he issues be to the world? Because here I know I train on CPDs, and I also help curriculum for higher education. So that's my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please, I'm going to share again my email on the chat. Don't hesitate to reach out so we can actually appoint this special personal need in a separate time, and we will be very helpful to lead you through our programs, and also to give you the opportunity to tell us all your needs and navigate with you through them. So I will be very happy to share again my information so we can have a meeting in the following days. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Also, I see a question in the chat from Northwest University, South Africa, and they are planning to offer some training for tourism. Is that possible to invite you? I don't know, Yamal, maybe you can answer that question.
So Rachel, yes, Rachel.
Definitely,
Yes,
Rochelle.
it is it Pamitso Metsi from the Northwest University. Yes, I will share my email address with you as well, and we can be in contact. As I've mentioned, I'm the CHE Master Trainer for the African continent for AHLEI. So yes, definitely it is possible to invite us to deliver a CHE session at your institution. But let me share my email address with you, and then you are welcome to just reach out, and then we can discuss this on email.
Great, thank you. Just to remind everybody that from tomorrow, the recording will be available, including the biography of all the speakers. And in fact, you can contact them from their page as well. Also, you can write us and it will be shared with our speakers today. So we will stay in contact. Just remind that from tomorrow you can watch the recording. Also for the scholarship that we have said, so everybody who have participated in this live on our other platforms as well, you will receive next week a complete details of the conditions and the scholarships that is offered by them. And so thank you so much. I don't know if there are other questions here. Or anybody want to add something? With certificate, yes, there will be a certificate for who has participated. Any other questions? Yamal, do you want to add something before we go? Or
I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much for your time. As I say, time is so valuable, and you actually dedicate us today a time during this day, and we are very grateful for that. Please do not hesitate to reach out via email or through LinkedIn. That's the two channels that you can get contact with me easier, and we are here to serve you. And I pass the last words for my colleagues so that they can say the closing statements.
I also echoes Yamel's comment. First, thank you so much, Yamel, for putting us in touch with the Tourism Institute, Mr. Reza, for bringing us all together today. It's been a very fruitful webinar. Very excited about the attendance and all the excitement and the pertinent questions in the chat. And we look forward to extending this opportunity post this webinar, like my dear colleague Yamal mentioned. And I want to thank, of course, our good friends and colleagues, Mr. Giorgio Valode and Mr. Shell Pretorius, for their contributions as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day or evening or afternoon.
Thank you, everybody. It was lovely seeing all the faces and interacting with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dr. Faid from Indonesia.
Thank you,
Thank
Di
you so
Carl.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You will receive the email with all the details.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Miss Eliana, how are you?
Good. Who is this?
Yeah, Faid from Brawijaya University in Indonesia.
Ah, hi.
Oh, Indonesia.
Indonesia. Vice Dean
you.
for Academic Fair.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you. See you.
Thank you, Frank. We are very happy that you found this very valuable session. Thank you.
Thank you also from our colleagues from United Nations and the tourism agencies around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl. Also, I'm glad that you think it was an excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It would be great to share all the emails by email of all the speakers, please, so that we can know more details about EHL. And yeah, please, because
Of course. As I mentioned, so from tomorrow, if you go to our website, you will see the recording biography and you can contact them and their emails as well. So if you send them a message, it will go to their email. No worries.
I added some of them on LinkedIn, so I will contact them directly. So
Yeah. But we will share their emails and everything, and it will be permanently their page. Every speaker has a dedicated page, and it will remain there forever. You can
because
always
as a restaurant, I always know about the National Restaurant Association, and we are a restaurant association here in Jordan, and we are talking about sustainability and environment and education in general and sector skill councils and so forth. So this is something that we need to know more. And I love the certified hospitality educator. It's very important. So we'll talk later about these things.
We can definitely help you, Eliana. There are good outcomes and practices already in the Middle East and African continent, so we can definitely get in touch.
Yeah, because I'm also a member of the and we are now working on it's like a toolkit for education in the tourism industry. That contains all the ethics that we should use while educating and how AI affecting everything. So this is something we are working on. So for sure, I will contact most of you in the coming weeks.
Yes, we are all also on LinkedIn, so please don't hesitate.
I will.
Thank you, Eliana. Definitely, we are here to serve you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Have a lovely day.
Likewise.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We end up here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Razan.